Hey guys, it's Sportspective,
And I'm Skayzzz.
and welcome back to the ISO Paradox podcast, episode number two.
Today we've been diving in 8 teams and 4 matchups, starting with the Bucks and Pacers, going out west to the Nuggets and Clippers, coming back east to the Knicks and Pistons, and our final game, the Lakers and the Timberwolves. These are first game playoff matchups. Take it away.
All right, so moving on to the second game, the Denver Nuggets beat the LA Clippers in a thrilling 112 to 110 overtime victory win. Skayzzz, I'm not going to lie to you. Jokic was by far the best player for the Nuggets today, but the first half he started off kind of slow. We saw Zubac, who his primary matchup is, and who's guarded him very well this whole season. He's limited him to the lowest field goal percentage out of any other center in the NBA, and it's a fact. But Jokic just finds ways to impact the game, and he always finds ways to, get back into the mix and score and make big plays down the stretch when it's important for the Nuggets. And today, that's exactly what he did.
The dribble penetration success.
Mm-hmm.
This worked all year for the Clippers, especially that Harden and Zubac 1-2. That was amazing tonight, and it just showed offensively what the Clippers can do, and it just wasn't enough as we saw. Going to the overtime, and ending the game, Zubac finished with 21, 13 on 66% shooting. As expected, he got anything he wanted offensively against Jokic. All right, Jokic is not what we call a defender. The Nuggets get worse with him defensively on the court, and it's a proven fact. You know, um, Nick Batum's 3-point making ability was there. Ben Simmons, Derrick Jones Jr. kind of disappeared. And like it was a rough finishing. It was a close game. It was the closest and most interesting game I'd say from tonight. But that's really what I think. How
Yeah.
about
No,
you?
I definitely agree. The Harden Zubac 1-2 combo. They've
Hmm.
they've done this when they played the Clippers. When the Clippers have played the Nuggets this season,
Hmm.
Harden loves drawing that matchup with Jamal Murray
Hmm.
because usually Christian Braun's on him, Brown, however he wants to call his name.
Braun.
Right, Braun. Yeah. He's the
Jeff
primary
Braun.
matchup, but every time Harden is bringing up the floor, today especially, they love to get in that switch with Murray on him, and he
Hmm.
just did whatever he wanted. He looked like prime Harden out there for a couple possessions, especially in the first half,
Hmm.
and then every time the defender would move up to Harden or Jokic would switch, Zubac has a wide open lane and he just throws it up or he just passes it, bounce past him. It's easy. It's too easy for them, right? They need to keep looking for this, and they kind of went away from it in the second half, which is why the Nuggets went on a big run.
Hmm.
They went on a 13-2 run before halftime, and then in the fourth quarter they went on another run. And that was largely because of the Clippers' kind of stagnant offense. They weren't going to that Zubac Harden pick and roll 1-2 combo, and I think
Hmm.
that kind of disadvantaged the Clippers a little bit today.
Well, we've seen like, Harden, like going back on the Harden, like looking back on his like Houston days, we've seen the at least the past couple games, him emerging and like him actually like looking like his former self, with
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi. Like I think when I saw on the podcast, uh Patrick Beverly talking about how this is the first season in a good while that Kawhi Leonard has actually finished the season healthy
Absolutely. Yeah.
and hopefully can actually make through the playoffs healthy because we saw the last time he was healthy for the entire playoffs.
To Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
Mm-hmm.
119,
Yeah.
you know? So
2020.
okay, bubble.
They
Um
blew they blew the 3-1 lead to the
bubble.
Nuggets, but yeah.
Bubble. Um bubble.
No,
Bubble.
but some of the pauses for the Nuggets, since we're talking about, the Clippers ended up falling short of it, and that's because I hate to say this,
Murray
Jamal Murray is just a fourth quarter player.
makes a move. There's
He is a fourth. He's one of the
Right?
clutches fourth.
Yeah, like
He
he did this
he
last
does
year.
it to LA. He does it to LA.
He
I
did
don't.
it. He did it to my Lakers team back to back years.
Oh, but
Right?
hold on. Wait. Last year, back to back, not back to back games, but 2 games in a series. The last game, the fifth game, and the second game, game two. He
Mm-hmm.
game timed.
You didn't have to. You didn't
Actually,
have to.
but I actually
You didn't have to bring it up.
remember. No, but I actually remember like him doing it on Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
God rest Anthony Davis joints. You
Yeah.
know, but
No, no,
yeah,
he's
he's clutch.
he's he couldn't buy a bucket for the first 3 quarters,
That's
right? He
mm,
couldn't buy a bucket. He had trouble time. Chris Dunn played a great job at him,
mm,
and even he was missing some wide open mid-range shots, some open 3-point shots. Not like him, right?
mm,
He ended up finished off the game with 21 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal,
mm,
right? And like I said, he hits timely buckets,
mm,
and the buckets that he hits are so important to his his ability to be that clutch, right?
mm,
And it's insane because he just transfers into playoff Murray,
mm,
right? And it's just if the Clippers could take advantage of this and have a sizable lead in the first 3 quarters when Murray can't get it going to
mm.
the point where the Nuggets can't come back, they can be victorious, right? But it's insane that Murray just takes advantage of these opportunities in the fourth quarter and showcases to the world, what he has on display, which is pretty ironic because he kind of he tends to show the world what he has on display, to the public eye. No pun intended, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
I heard that was actually Jenna Bus down there, but neither here nor there. Anyways, I want to talk about Norman Powell, how he kind of like wasn't as pa impactful as I
Mm-hmm.
thought he would have been. Um, Shooting 5 for 12 is not the best, but it's not good at all. Like it's not as good as I would
His
hope.
shot wasn't there.
Like it wasn't
It
there. In
wasn't there.
37 minutes, he scored 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists with 4 turnovers and 2 fouls. Like he wasn't the Norman Powell we're expected, like the All-Star caliber season he has so far, which I think, and I don't know if you agree with me, but he should have been in that All-Star role. I know LeBron James came out late saying
Mm-hmm.
couldn't play, but I think that
I think
immediately
I think
should
he
have
should
won.
he could have been there
Hmm.
even before the LeBron thing, right?
Hmm.
He was definitely one of the players that people said he got snubbed,
Hmm.
but no,
And we know
he's
players that get snubbed. Like Sabonis gets snubbed.
Trae Young.
Trey Young gets snubbed every time.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, no,
no.
he's a great player,
Hmm.
and he's one of the best, if not the best, third star on a
Hmm.
team. You know, I think Austin Reeves is better, but that's a debate that we can have at another time.
Hmm.
But I think that his lack of shots today, kind of like 12 shots, isn't enough for Norman Powell, in my opinion. Okay,
So you want to talk about how Westbrook played, especially at the end of the game, the up and down,
like
or
listen, honestly, I don't know whether I classify him in a positive or a negative for the Nuggets. Today, after the outcome, he has to go in a positive.
mm,
But we've also seen Westbrook lose them games. And today he had a couple plays where I truly felt like that was going to be the reason why they lost. But he's one of those guys. He comes on the court, he gives 110% effort every time, and you got to commend him for that, right? Even on the Lakers when he had his faults, you can tell that the energy was there, the effort was there. He was trying, right?
win, lose, draw.
Have
Let
fun,
it be fun,
have
yeah.
fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I think that it's an up and down hill with Westbrook, right?
Mhm.
He had a play today where he hits a three to go up in the game in the fourth quarter, late fourth quarter, big shot, right? And
Mhm.
then the next play, he has the opportunity to win them the game, no shot clock, the ball's theirs, and he doesn't even get a shot off, right? So it's
Mhm.
like there's these moments where you kind of get a little frustrated with him, but then in overtime, what does he do? Right, the ball is being inbounded, Clippers ball. They have an opportunity to take the game, tie the game. What does he do? Gets in the way, deflects it off Harden, and it's Nuggets ball and they win, right? So if he can constantly provide more positives and negatives,
Mhm.
he could be really good for this team. And he has been good for this team in the regular season. But then he
He's a
also
hustle
has
player.
he's also a player, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like like we
absolutely.
can't ignore the loss of KCP. We can't ignore the loss of many of like the defensive guards
Bruce
that
Brown for
Bruce
sure
Brown,
is one of
yeah,
those guys, yeah.
like we can't those those pieces for the Nuggets, like other than their top four, they changed. Like the Nuggets
Mm-hmm.
changed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like so am I saying that Russell Westbrook is KCP? No. But am I saying that he at least can make up for some loss in defensive presence?
He has a lot of grit, and you have to respect that, and you have to commend that
Mhm.
because you know confidence is such a big thing in this league. We've seen guys what happens when they lose confidence,
Ben
right?
Simmons. Hmm.
Ben Simmons on the Clippers, right?
Hmm.
Just he does not even
He,
look towards the basket anymore, right? So with Westbrook, when you're missing and these things are happening and you lose your confidence, I feel like he would not be effective,
I
right?
think I'd
But
rather like those are two that I like that you brought up Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook because those are two sides of
of
a coin,
basketball,
you know?
like
Like
that's really what
yeah,
it is. It's the two sides of basketball, right?
the
On
players that
one
are
side, you're
confident
fair, yeah.
and are you gonna get commended? Are you gonna get like applauded when you do something right? Yes, but are you gonna get severely like attacked when you do something wrong? Yes. But the people that are not confident at all, like a Ben Simmons, the players are that are not ready for, that shot or are not willing to take that shot, they're gonna get neither, or
Hmm.
they're gonna get
Majority of
trampled
the
down.
blame, right?
Majority of the blame because they're
Yeah,
not doing
yeah,
anything to
absolutely.
to take a risk is what basketball is in totality, because
So
it's a risk game.
so aside from Russell Westbrook being so good in terms of being clutch for the Nuggets in this game,
Mhm.
I want to bring up one thing why I believe the Clippers lost, and that is 20 turnovers in a game.
Yeah.
Can't happen. Can't happen. They're not a team that gives up a lot of turnovers, right? Aside from Harden, they all play pretty well in terms of ball security, and their playmaking is good.
Mhm.
20 turnovers today, and you just let the Nuggets go on big runs. You let them hit timely shots, and as good as Zubac played on Jokic, Jokic is still the best player in the league, right? He's
Mhm.
still gonna get to his spots. He's still gonna hit his shots, right? So
Mhm.
you cannot make any mistakes if you're the Clippers,
Mhm.
right? This is still a championship mentality team, coach or not, right? They still have Nikola Jokic on the team. They still have Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., who didn't play good, but Aaron Gordon, who also played good, right? So it's like you have to not make these mistakes late game,
Mhm.
and
With
and and,
that,
and they did.
with that right there, no word of a lie, a complete fact. The Denver Nuggets, the Los Angeles Clippers gave up 29 points off of turnovers from the Nuggets to their 9. You know how crazy that contrast is? So
Hmm.
off of each turnover that is either an unforced error or the Nuggets just playing better defense, I guess. Aaron Gordon leading the
Sure,
charge.
sure, they definitely showed
Yeah,
more energy on defense, right?
they wanted it
And
more, right?
and listen, at the end of the day, like I know we talk about the Mike Malone being fired, you know,
Mhm.
and David Adelman's their interim coach, but I can't lie, the fact that he didn't keep Michael Porter Jr. on the court, even though Michael Porter Jr. was playing horrible, right? I feel like that's something that Mike Malone would have done, kept him on the court, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And David Adelman said, no, I'm gonna play Russell Westbrook. I'm gonna play Peyton Watson instead,
Mhm.
and that's why they won the game. That's
Okay.
truly it.
Said all that. Now, let's get into our predictions. Personally, me, I think Clippers in 7. I think that they have way more upside of like both defensively, they have an answer for not completely for Jokic because you don't have an answer for the best player in the world, but
Hmm.
you have a Zubac and you have James Harden and Kawhi Leonard and a great cast off the bench.
Hmm.
So I'm taking
Yeah,
the Clippers in
yeah.
7.